The world doesn't owe you anything. You wake up every day waiting for someone to inspire you, to push you, to tell you you're great, but the best motivation ain't out there. It's in you. You waiting on a quote, a video, somebody to come, save you. Nah, get this straight, the best motivation is when you're sick of being average. It's when you're tired of waking up broke. It's when you're done letting fear punk you out of your dreams. You don't need no alarm clock to get up. My passion wakes me up. My purpose keeps me moving. My hunger makes sure I never stop. So, if you're looking for motivation, stop scrolling. Stop searching. Look in the mirror, because that person staring back, that's your biggest weapon. The best motivation is being sick and tired of being sick and tired. When you're in that space where you're fed up with the struggle, the grind, and the pain of not getting where you want to be, something changes. It's a turning point, a shift in your mindset that flips the script on your life. See, we've all been there. Stuck in a rut, struggling, feeling like we're giving everything and still coming up short. It's like being in quicksand. The harder you try to move, the deeper you sink, but there's a moment when that frustration, that exhaustion, becomes the fuel. It stops being the thing that weighs you down and starts being the thing that propels you forward. Because when you're sick and tired of being stuck, when you're done with the same old cycle, that's when you start to take real action. That's when you get aggressive about your future. You stop accepting mediocrity and you start demanding more. You stop looking for excuses and start looking for solutions. Too many people settle for comfort. They get used to the pain, the struggle, the unfulfilled potential. They rationalize the same mistakes, the same failures, over and over again. They get used to living with disappointment. They become numb to it, but not you. When you hit that point where you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, it's like a slap to the face. You wake up, you realize that if you don't change right now, nothing will change. It's the difference between existing and living. Existing is simply going through the motions. Waking up, going to work, coming home, sitting on the couch, and doing it all over again. There's no passion, no fire. It's just about survival. But when you're sick and tired of being stuck in that routine, when the weight of your unfulfilled potential becomes unbearable, that's when you decide that existing ain't good enough. You want more. You start to realize that all the things you've been telling yourself are excuses. I'm too old, too young, too tired, too busy. Those are just barriers you've built to protect yourself from the hard work and discipline required to get where you want to go. And when you get sick and tired of hearing those excuses, you push through them. You force yourself to face the truth, no matter how uncomfortable it feels. Sand, when you make that shift, when you're sick and tired of just surviving, something happens. You get hungry, not for food, but for success. For the life you know you're capable of. You start seeing the possibilities, the opportunities you missed before. You stop feeling sorry for yourself and start taking responsibility. Think about it. When you hit rock bottom, when you've tried everything and nothing works, you only have two choices: stay down or fight your way back up. And trust me, when you're sick and tired of being stuck, you get tired of staying down. You're done. You refuse to let your circumstances define your future. The pain you've been avoiding becomes the fuel that powers you through. You stop listening to people who tell you that it's too hard, that it's too late, that it's too much. You get out of your own way. You realize that the fight is not just external, it's internal. The battle ain't with your boss, your family, or your circumstances. The battle is with your own mindset. It's with the thoughts you've allowed to control you, the beliefs you've let dictate your reality, and when you get tired of being ruled by those limiting thoughts, you make a choice to challenge them. You take control. The moment you stop letting fear hold you back is the moment you break free. Being sick and tired of being sick and tired is just a feeling. It's a transformation. It's a rebirth. When you finally get to that point, everything becomes clear. You stop looking for motivation outside yourself and start realizing that it was always inside you. The hunger, the determination, the will to push through, to fight back, it was always in you, just waiting for you to tap into it. And once you do, once you harness that power, there's no stopping you. The best motivation is remembering why you started. There's a fire that ignites in you when you first set out on your journey. It's the spark, the reason, the purpose that makes you take that first step, that initial leap into the unknown. At the beginning, it's all clear. You know exactly why you're doing what you're doing. You know the mission, the vision, the goal you're chasing. That clarity is powerful. It's what keeps you moving when everything else feels uncertain. But as time goes on, as obstacles pile up and the hustle starts to feel like a grind, it's easy to forget. It's easy to lose sight of the why, and that's when most people quit. When the initial excitement fades and the challenges start to weigh you down, people forget why they started. They get distracted by the noise, the criticism, the doubts that begin to creep in. They lose their sense of purpose, and with it, their drive. They forget the reason they put in the work in the first place. The dream becomes distant, the fire starts to fade, and eventually, they find themselves walking away from the very thing they once believed in so passionately. Elliot, you can't afford to forget why you started. That why is the thing that will carry you when you feel like giving up. It's the thing that pulls you out of bed on the days you don't feel like working. It's the thing that helps you push through the pain, the fatigue, and the frustration. The days when you feel like the world is working against you. When nothing is going right, those are the days when you need to remember why you started. More than ever, you've got to remind yourself of that vision you had at the beginning. That vision of a life that was different, a life that you were determined to create. It wasn't just a dream, it was a commitment, a promise you made to yourself that you would fight for something better. When you're down, when you're feeling like everything is falling apart, that promise is the thing that can bring you back to life. It's easy to get caught up in the hustle, to start chasing the next big thing or the next shiny object that promises success. It's easy to get distracted by the opinions of others, by what they think you should do, by what they think is important. But your why is personal. It's about you and the life you want to create. No one else can define that for you. And if you're not connected to that purpose, to that deeper reason behind your actions, you'll never be able to tap into the level of passion, commitment, and perseverance that it takes to succeed. Your why has to be bigger than just the superficial goals. It can't just be about money, status, or material success. Those things are fleeting, and they won't carry you through the hard times. Your why has to be rooted in something deeper, something that gives you meaning, something that resonates with your soul. Whether it's the desire to make an impact, to provide for your family, to create something that lasts, or to prove to yourself that you can. Your why has to be your anchor, because when things get tough, and they will, your why is what will keep you grounded. It's the foundation that will support you when you feel like everything is falling apart. It's the reason you keep going when every fiber of your being wants to quit. And in those moments, when you're tired, when you're frustrated, when you feel like you can't take another step. Your why will give you the strength to push forward. Think back to that moment when you first decided to take the leap. Think about the excitement, the passion, the fire that burned inside you. Remember how it felt when you made the decision to go after your dreams. No matter what, that feeling, that energy is still inside you. It hasn't gone anywhere. But you have to reconnect with it. You have to tap into that energy again and use it to fuel your journey. Semites. It's not about doing more. It's about remembering why you're doing what you're doing. When the work starts to feel heavy, when the road gets long and the obstacles get bigger, the answer isn't always to work harder or faster. It's to reconnect with your purpose. It's about remembering why you started and letting that reason pull you through. And when you can do that, when you can remember why you started, when you can get back to that core, that fire will become the driving force behind everything you do. It will keep you going when everything else is telling you to stop. Because that fire, that why, doesn't die unless you let it. And you don't let it die. You use it to ignite every action, every decision, every step you take toward your goal. The best motivation is proving everybody wrong. There's something deeply powerful about being underestimated. When people look at you and think you're not capable, when they write you off, when they doubt your potential, it creates a fire inside you that can't be put out. That doubt, that criticism, that disbelief becomes your fuel. And when you start proving them wrong, when you start showing them what you're really made of, there's a sense of satisfaction that no amount of praise could ever give you. Because this isn't about showing off, it's about showing them that you're more than what they thought you were. You're more than the limitations they placed on you for far too long. People let others' opinions shape their lives. People let others tell them who they are, what they can do, what they can't do, and they accept it as truth. But the moment you decide to prove people wrong is the moment you step into your own power. You stop letting the world define you. Instead, you define yourself. You take control of your narrative, and you use the doubts and criticisms as motivation to push harder, to work longer, and to become stronger than you ever thought possible. When you're told that you won't make it, that you can't do something, that you're not good enough, the best thing you can do is let that challenge you. Let it fuel you. People will tell you that you're not smart enough, not talented enough, not strong enough, and the easy way out is to believe them. But here's the truth. Those people don't know you. They don't know what you're capable of. They don't know the fire that burns in your soul. They don't know the hours you've put in, the sacrifices you've made, the struggles you've faced, or the resilience you've developed. They don't know your story, and yet they'll be the first to judge you, the first to tell you it's impossible. But those who tell you that you can't do something are the same people who've never had the courage to do it themselves. They're not bad people. They're just scared. They're projecting their own limitations onto you because they've given up on their own dreams. But you haven't. You're still chasing them. And every time someone doubts you, it's another opportunity for you to prove them wrong. Proving people wrong isn't about seeking revenge or showing off. It's about proving to yourself that you're capable of more than you think. It's about silencing the doubts in your own head, the ones that tell you that you're not good enough, not worthy enough, or that you're too far behind to ever catch up. When you prove them wrong, you're not just showing others what you're made of, you're showing yourself what you're capable of. It's a statement to your own mind that you can do anything if you set your mind to it. that your potential is limitless, that no external opinion can define your worth or your abolitionist process of proving people wrong. It's just about achieving the external success. It's about the internal transformation that happens along the way. You start off with doubt, with uncertainty, with the weight of other people's negativity on your shoulders. But as you push forward, as you keep proving them wrong, something shifts inside of you. You begin to believe in yourself more than you ever have before. Your confidence grows with every step you take, every goal you hit, every challenge you overcome. You stop needing external validation because you become your own proof. It's not always easy. In fact, it's rarely easy. There will be times when it feels like the whole world is against you, when it feels like you're fighting an uphill battle. But that's when you dig deeper. That's when you lean into the challenge, when you remind yourself of all the people who thought you couldn't. That's when you realize that every setback, every failure, every person who doubted you is just one more step toward proving them wrong. And as you continue to rise, as you continue to break through barriers and push past limits, the voices that once doubted you will fade into the background. But you know what? Those voices will always be there, and that's a good thing, because every time they try to hold you back, every time they tell you it's too hard or that you're not good enough, you have the chance to show them exactly who you are. You get to prove to the world that you are not a product of their opinions, but a product of your own hard work, determination, and belief in yourself. And the greatest satisfaction comes when you look back and realize that you didn't need their approval to succeed. You didn't need their belief in you to believe in yourself. You proved them wrong without even needing to say a word. Your success speaks for itself. The best motivation comes when you take those doubts, turn them into determination, and then watch as you shatter every limit they put on you. The moment you realize that their opinions don't matter, that's the moment you've truly won. The best motivation is knowing nobody's coming to save you. It's a hard truth to accept, but once you do, it changes everything. For most of our lives, we've been conditioned to believe that someone, somewhere, will come to our rescue. We think that we'll be saved, that we'll get a break, that someone will come and pull us out of our struggles. But here's the cold reality. No one is coming. No one is going to magically fix your problems or hand you your dreams on a silver platter. It's all on you. This is the moment where you either step up or step out. You either take full responsibility for your life or you continue to play the victim, waiting for someone else to solve your problems. But the best motivation comes from realizing that you are the only one who can change your circumstances. You are the one who has to get up, face the challenges, and do the work. No one is going to do it for you. And once you accept that, the power is in your hands too. Many people spend their lives waiting for a handout, waiting for a lucky break, or waiting for someone else to take the reins. They think that if they just wait long enough, the right opportunity will come knocking at their door. But that's not how life works. Life doesn't care if you're ready, if you're prepared, or if you think you deserve it. It just keeps moving forward. The clock keeps ticking. The world keeps changing. And if you don't take control of your own destiny, someone else will. When you realize that nobody's coming to save you, that's when you stop making excuses. You stop waiting for permission. You stop blaming others for your problems. You stop letting fear or uncertainty hold you back. Because you know that you are the only one who can create the life you want. It's not easy, but it's simple. The only way to get what you want in life is to put in the work, to take responsibility for your actions, to stop complaining about what you don't have and start working for what you want. This mentality shifts you from a passive observer of your life to an active participant. You realize that your success, your happiness, your future, they all depend on the choices you make today. And the more you take ownership of your journey, the more you start to realize how much control you truly have. The moment you stop waiting for someone to swoop in and save you is the moment you begin to realize your true potential. It's the moment when you understand that the power to change your life has always been within you. The truth is, nobody's coming to save you because nobody can. People can support you, encourage you, and even help you along the way, but the heavy lifting, the hard decisions, the sacrifice, and the grind, it's all on you. No one else can do that for you. And when you finally internalize that truth, it forces you to stop looking outside yourself for the answers. Instead, you start looking inward, and you begin to tap into your own strength, your own resilience, and your own potential. This mindset is what separates the dreamers from the doers. The dreamers are the ones who talk about what they want, but never take action. They wait for the right moment, for the perfect opportunity, for someone else to step in and help them out. But the doers, the ones who actually make things happen, understand that success is not about waiting for someone to show up. It's about taking ownership of your life and doing what needs to be done, no matter how difficult it may seem. They don't wait for motivation to strike. They create their own motivation. They understand that their success is entirely in their hands, and they are relentless in their pursuit of it. When you stop waiting for someone to save you, you also stop making excuses. You stop blaming the economy, your upbringing, your lack of resources, or anything else for why you can't succeed. You stop using external factors as an excuse for your own inaction. Instead, you focus on what you can control. You focus on what you can do right now with what you have to move closer to your goals. It's about understanding that the path to success is not always easy or straight, but it's always available to you if you're willing to take it. When you take that first step, when you stop waiting for someone to come and change your life, that's when things start to shift. You start to take massive action. You stop procrastinating. Stop putting things off, and stop letting the fear of failure paralyze you. You become your own hero. You are the one who has to fight for your dreams. You are the one who has to push through the obstacles, the setbacks, and the challenges. And when you do, when you realize that you are the one responsible for your success, something inside you shifts. You become unstoppable. So, stop waiting. Stop hoping someone will come to the rescue. It's on you. The power to create the life you want is already in your hands. It's time to step up, take control, and make things happen. Because nobody's coming to save you. And that's the best motivation you'll ever have. The best motivation is turning your pain into power. Pain is something everyone goes through. It's an inevitable part of life, and it doesn't discriminate. Whether it's emotional pain from a broken heart, physical pain from an injury, or mental pain from failure or rejection, we all experience it. Pain feels overwhelming. It feels like a weight, a burden that you can't shake off. It's uncomfortable, it's raw, and it's tough to endure. But here's the truth that most people never learn. Pain doesn't have to be your downfall. It doesn't have to defeat you. In fact, pain can be the thing that drives you to greatness. When you go through pain, you're faced with a choice. You can either let it crush you, break you down, and stop you from moving forward. Or you can use it as fuel to propel you to new heights. Pain has the power to either destroy you or elevate you. It's your decision. And the best motivation comes when you decide that your pain will not define you, but it will refine you. Instead of letting it tear you apart, you learn how to channel it, how to transform it into something that propels you toward your goals. Every time you face pain, it's an opportunity. It's an opportunity to grow stronger, to become more resilient, and to prove to yourself that you're tougher than you thought. When you experience a setback, a failure, or a loss, it feels like you've hit rock bottom. It feels like everything is falling apart, but the truth is, when you hit rock bottom, you're actually in the best position to start building yourself back up. You have nothing left to lose and everything to gain. That's when you make the decision to rise. You make the decision to turn your pain into power. Think about the most successful people you know, the ones who have achieved greatness. Do you think they got to where they are without facing pain? Of course not. The difference is that they didn't let it break them. They didn't let their struggles define their future. Instead, they took their pain, used it as motivation, and turned it into something powerful. They didn't stay stuck in their pain. They acknowledged it, they learned from it, and they used it to drive them forward. When you learn to turn your pain into power, you stop being a victim of your circumstances. You stop looking at your pain as something that's holding you back and start seeing it as something that can push you forward. It shifts your mindset from one of helplessness to one of strength. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" you start asking, "How can I use this to make myself better?" You stop letting pain control your life, and instead, you take control of it. You don't just survive pain, you use it to thrive. One of the greatest things about turning pain into power is that it builds character. It teaches you things about yourself that you would never learn if you were living an easy life. When everything is going well, it's easy to coast through life without learning much about who you really are. But when pain enters the picture, you are forced to confront yourself. You're forced to face your weaknesses, your fears, and your insecurities, and in doing so, you find the strength you never knew you had. You learn to adapt, to be resourceful, and to push through. Then, when everything inside you is screaming to give up, pain also gives you purpose. It fuels your determination to not let the same thing happen again. Pain reminds you why you can't quit. It reminds you of what's at stake. It forces you to reevaluate your goals and your priorities, and when you do that, you become more focused, more driven, and more committed to your success. It makes you hungrier. You know what it feels like to lose, to fail, and to struggle, and you don't want to feel that way again. So, you work harder, you train smarter, you put in the hours. You do whatever it takes to turn that pain into something meaningful. It's not about avoiding pain, it's about learning how to face it and use it as a source of strength. Every time you overcome pain, you become more powerful. Every time you face adversity and push through, you gain confidence. You prove to yourself that you can handle whatever comes your way. And each time you do that, you become a stronger, more resilient version of yourself. You stop being scared of pain because you know that it's not your enemy, it's your ally. Pain doesn't break you, it builds you. So, when you face pain, when life knocks you down, don't give up. Don't retreat into victimhood. Instead, take that pain and turn it into your fuel. Use it as motivation to keep going, to rise higher, to achieve more. Because when you learn how to turn your pain into power, You unlock a strength that most people never find. You discover that you are capable of far more than you ever imagined. And that power, it's unstoppable.